This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, March 29th. So glad you can join us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Graham predictions that Barbados could record as much as 80 to 90 murders if the current trend continues. That's the view of former Deputy Police Commissioner Bertie Hines as he participated in a panel discussion entitled Youth, Crime and Violence in Barbados, Solution and Strategies at the Cave Hill campus last evening. Hines, who expressed alarm that the island has recorded an unprecedented 20 murders so far this year, warned that based on the current trend, the situation could worsen.
Over the last 35 years, we have had 22 murders. And again, the average number of murders per month over the last 35 years were 2. If you go back to 1986, we had 10 murders, 1996, 15, 2006, 35, a progression, 2016, 22, 2018, 28, and 2019, 20 within the first 3 months. And if we continue on this trajectory, we are on course for something like 80 to 90 murders in Barbados. God forbid that these things happen.
At the same time, Director of the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, Cheryl Willoughby, voiced concern that juveniles were committing more violent offenses. She pointed that an increasing number of males, ages 16 to 17, were being held for murder and gun-related offenses.
That is the gender right now in Barbados that is creating most of the problems as it relates to crime, especially serious violent crimes, and the 16 to 25 age group is posing the most problem, and they're occupying the resources within the criminal justice as well as the penal system. When we looked at males over the period I alluded to between the 2012 and 2016, we would have seen assaults and woundings again as the 2 crimes that occupy the criminal justice system. And out of 1,232 cases, we would have seen young men involved in these types of criminal behaviors.
Willoughby noted that most of the young men who engage in deviant behavior were more often than not school dropouts, and she called for a reform of the education system.
We were seeing a large number of young persons incarcerated for violent offenses, some murders, who were expelled from school before age 16 and who were out of school either voluntarily or otherwise before they reached the age of 16. I do not want to cast blame on our educational system, but I think the time is right for some reform within our educational system in order for us to be able to address some of the issues that we are seeing early and not wait until these persons are within the constraints of the Royal Barbados Police Force.
In other news this Friday, it was an emotional day at the Transport Board as 5 workers were laid off and another 80 opted to part ways with the company, having accepted voluntary separation of employment packages. Workers hugged and cried as they bade farewell, and several who spoke to Barbados Today recalled fond memories of working at the state-owned bus company.
For the last couple of years, we've been working workman, and they bring water in my eyes all I know that I have leafy tractioners.
Okay.
Dedicated to the road, and the people are hurting, workmen and BFE.
Okay, so you had a very good relationship with your passengers?
You're sure right, boss. Got envelopes, got gifts for doing a service.
Okay. Thank you. And anything that you would like to say to them publicly?
Probably yes. Thanks for the friendliness, manliness, and how to come to end Sunday.
I feel like relief because we were told that there wasn't going to be no money or anything like that. So it was a chance that you was actually taking, you know, but all is well.
It was great. I had some fun, meet some great people. I had some ups and downs, but overall it wasn't bad. But coming down, like in the latter years, it get frustrating, and there's a lot of taxing on your body, and you can see things improving. Just but it was a good experience. I want to pray down the place, so I just wish that them well. I wish they improve for the betterment and for the best of the good workers of the place.
Even though they're gone, we still be around linking them and connecting. Because, you will miss it sometimes. But even this morning, just felt, we're not getting up early as usual, just had, the thing there in me. And then to see yesterday was emotional. I mean, I actually got little tears, for the last ride. I had put up a poster there, it was good. It was a good journey.
Barbados is currently in a period of reinvention, but there is a need for investment in several areas in order to create a world-class economy. This assessment from Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Marsha Cadell, addressing a business forum hosted by the Barbados Coalition of Service Industries at the Savannah Hotel today. Cadell said the process of transformation had started. She, however, stressed there is need for continued investment in a number of areas, including education, public health, renewable energy, technology, infrastructure, and government processes. LIAT pilots agreed to a pay cut as part of a restructuring plan to keep the airline in the air. President of the Leeward Islands Airline Pilots Association, Carl Burke, confirmed that the pilots voted on the salary cuts last night. Sources told Barbados Today that the trade unions had initially agreed to a 6% pay cut at a meeting in Barbados on Wednesday with Prime Minister Mia Mottley, management and chairman of LIAT shareholder governments, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Shareholders have been seeking to get other Caribbean countries to contribute a total of $5.4 million in emergency funding. At the same time, 11 destinations had been given until March 15 to respond to the airline's minimal revenue guarantee proposals. Under the MRG model, it's likely that a few flights may be cut if the government is not prepared to fund them with a guarantee.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
In news from the region, the unscheduled maintenance of 2 LIAT aircraft, which led to several flight cancellations on Thursday, will not affect services during the Easter period. The assurance from LIAT's Chief Executive Officer, Julie Rifford-Jones today, who says the airline had already put in place adequate arrangements to ensure smooth trips for that.
National Security Minister Herman-Gilde Francis is worried that youth are being discriminated and chastised because of their sexual orientation. Speculations abound as to whether bullying may have led to the alleged suicide of a 17-year-old teen of Dennery. He says the decision to revisit the buggery laws lies with the citizenry.
I've said this is in the domain of St. Lucians. And if the St. Lucians want that to be revisited, I have no problems with that, no issues with that. But I think that the time has come that we really have to look at it. Too many young people are getting maligned because of their sexual orientation, and I don't think that is right. That everybody should have the right to their own sexual, religious beliefs and association with the political parties. So I agree that we should have a review of it.
On Monday, Minister with responsibility for foreign affairs, Sarah Flood-Bobre, stated that the health consequences associated with homosexuality should be examined before amending the laws. Francis says while each person is entitled to his or her beliefs, it is also a person's right to practice their sexuality free from discrimination.
On the international scene, lawmakers reject Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal for a third time on Friday, sounding its probable death knell and leaving Britain's withdrawal from the European Union in turmoil on the very day it was supposed to quit the bloc. We get more in this report from Reuters Television.
286, the noes to the left, 344.
That's the likely death knell for Theresa May's Brexit deal. Parliament voted it down for the third time on the very day Britain was meant to leave the European Union.
So the noes have it, the noes have it. Unlock!
In the end, by a decisive margin.
Mr. Speaker, I fear we are reaching the limits of this process in this House. This House has rejected no deal. It has rejected no Brexit. On Wednesday, it rejected all the variations of the deal on the table. And today, it has rejected approving the withdrawal agreement alone.
Now the British Prime Minister's position hangs in the balance. She'd promised to quit if the deal was passed. Many, even in her own party, are saying her time is up anyway.
Who told us? Brexit.
It was an emotional day for Brexiteers. Crowds descended on Parliament, some of them at the end of a Brexit betrayal protest march across England to push their message that Britain must get out, regardless of party politics. That now looks more uncertain than ever.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Do have a wonderful weekend.